Hello,
Yeah,
welcome again on YouTube. This will probably be the last video because I'm reaching a limit. This will probably be a shorter
probably be a
one.
short one. Yeah, there we
Uh,
go.
yeah, so if you click edit, what are you seeing? Or,
So when I highlight it, it shows both provinces.
shoot, okay.
Yeah, I don't want them to take the capital.
So the way you do that is go to edit. You need to have the battle plan selected. Go to edit, left click there.
Oh, left click. Oop.
Oh, what you were doing, yeah,
Oh god.
just delete the spearhead first. It looks like now the spearhead is piled in there. So draw a spearhead there and just right click there. Yep, and release. And now edit. And you want to grab the green hashed area. You don't want to grab that end piece. Just left click somewhere in the green hashed area. You'll know you did it right when it turns blue.
Ah.
You
Hmm.
you need you need to click and drag. I should have explained. You want to click and hold and then release. If you edited the right one, you might have edited the other arrow by accident. Hover over the other arrow for a second, the one that's in the capital, because it might be showing. So that just attacks the capital, okay? And the one to the right is both.
Would
Bloody
it help
hell.
if I deleted this?
Try. No, probably not. Well, you could. That offensive arrow should probably be fixed anyways. If you notice, it goes in. Has Leon, so if you select that and edit, you probably want to delete that arrow and redraw it anyhow, because there's a problem with how it's drawn. If you noticed. Or you could just drag there and release. It keeps trying to do that weirdly. I would just delete and redraw that. Make it a spearhead just for the and release. But if you select the guys to the right there and their battle plan, um, I would delete that and there's instead of just drawing into that one province, which is probably part of the issue, draw. I mean, you're probably going to advance further up the coast, right?
I suppose.
Uh, Not like that. No, you. I was going to say you want to delete. You can even see that that's going to go through the capital, and just start it
They
like
actually
just
follow the arrow.
uh they follow the path of the arrow, not the arrow itself. So just there and then release. And now if you hover over it, yeah,
Ah,
they'll just go through that one jungle and try and push all the way to the second jungle if you let them. Which
so now if I do it,
and then now if
oh,
you
they're
do
still
it,
preparing.
yeah. Now if you do it once they're prepared, they should just attack the jungle, and then once they take it, they'll try and march further north, but you can always halt the offensive at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, just beware they won't
Okay.
stop until they've taken both jungles unless you stop them.
It's okay if they do.
Yeah, it will mean that you won't have to fight through another jungle, and the terrain further north is easier to take.
Yeah.
Like if they fortify in the plains, if they dig in there, it's not nearly as hard to displace entrenched units on plains as entrenched units
Okay.
in a jungle. So, all right, I'll stop watching. Yeah,
Oh,
sometimes it gets a little screwy when you're trying to draw a spearhead into just one province. If you draw it
yeah.
two in like that, it'll usually get it right. So
Okay. Huh.
sometimes you can force it to work by like editing the path, like make the blue hash thing, but sometimes that doesn't work. So in this case, it won't work. Yeah, battle plans are a little messy like that. Right. Well, I'm starting to do military factories now because I'm actually getting pretty close to my civil war. Um, I now have. Hold on, I'm unpause and yeah, it ticks over at midnight. So, uh, yeah, we must not bow to the mob. Cool. Uh, all right. I just started the ticking time bomb till the Civil War. At this point, it's inevitable. I should get an event in a few days that violence in the capital, and at that point, it's like a January 6th thing.
I got a new MIO, a trait point for my infantry weapons manufacturer.
Oh, nice.
What should I put it into?
Well, what do you have? I mean,
Drum pattern sights, advanced barrel forging, bolt action rifles, semi-auto rifles,
oh no, I meant
heavy
what do you already
anti-armor.
have unlocked, or is this your first point?
Oh, reinforced stocks.
Oh, so
Uh,
semi-automatic rifles is good. It'll you don't need to do it not right now though. Ideally, I learned this the hard way. You should delay taking semi-automatic rifles until right before you finish until you're right before you're ready to apply it to equipment. So
so I need
you're
to have 5 army experience.
you could, but you're doing improved infantry equipment 1 right now, right?
The tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you finish that, you can save up a little to reduce the ahead of time penalty for 30 days. Just save the research, and you can do infantry equipment 2, like the improved version of the rifle with the new name,
Yeah.
and that will get any traits that you already have unlocked, so you won't have to spend any army experience then. It means you won't be
Oh.
producing the best rifles until you do that, but it'll save you 5 army XP. Um,
Hmm.
and you can wait to apply the trait until right before then and
I
just
mean, I don't mind spending 5 army XP.
uh it's not just that you get reduced production efficiency gain
Oh
while
yeah.
you're have that trait like
So I'll have
active.
less weapons.
Yeah, you'll have fewer weapons as well as having to spend the army XP. So you probably just want to wait because what's your production efficiency in rifles right now?
54,
Out of what's the cap?
73.
Yeah, you're not at the cap, so you'll have fewer rifles because it'll grow more slowly towards the cap.
Okay.
So yeah, I would delay doing it. I would delay taking the trait because it'll instantly apply that debuff even if you don't apply it to the design, which means you get no benefit and some cost. And I would try and save the 5 army XP because you need army XP for a zillion and one things. Besides doctrines, there's also editing unit templates, and there's the Mountaineer Special Forces tree, which you probably want eventually. Once you get Mountaineers 1, you can take that.
Yeah.
Uh, and oh yeah, you also need to unlock another Special Forces branch, which means you need to become a major country first. Sorry, I forgot that. So you need to form. If you form a faction, you become a major. So Bolivarian Alliance will turn you into major, and then the game date has to be after January 1st, 1940. So actually, you won't be able to do it yet. I think it's 40 or it could
Okay.
be 41, but you'll get a decision. It'll be grayed out until the game date passes. Expand Special Forces, it's called. Uh, I should actually have it grayed out, or maybe it doesn't even show up until you're getting close to that date. Uh, nope, it's not showing yet for me actually. But unless they disable it for the United States, because I get a focus. Some countries, I would have sworn I've seen it as Germany. I know they get focuses to they can actually get all 3 without even doing the decision. All 3 branches because they have 2 focuses to expand the special forces. I only have 1. Um, but yeah, so I would save the army XP honestly, because you won't produce that many rifles before you can upgrade your infantry equipment. It'll be like
Okay.
what 100. How many days till you finish infantry equipment? Improved infantry equipment 1,
90.
90, and then
Yep.
it'll be like I don't know 150 more. So it'll be like 8 months till you get the next level of infantry equipment, which isn't that long in this game of things. Uh, of, so what? That's like 2,400 rifles, maybe? Probably less because your production efficiency is less than mine. 2,000 rifles, 1,800 rifles that will gain the trait. That's not that many. That's 18 battalions worth. And it's something, but for such a small bonus, probably not worth it. Um, I shouldn't have run that trait myself as early as I did. I made the mistake and I regret it. And now I'm just trying to get infantry equipment too to actually apply the traits. I shouldn't have done the one that reduced semi-automatic rifles until I was ready to actually upgrade my rifles. So whatever, mistakes get made.
Yep.
Oh well. On pause, I guess.
Yep.
Getting very close to. I'm just waiting for the event violence in the capital. I'm pretty sure it should trigger now that I did the thing that moves me closer to civil war. Um, and I'm working on accumulated wealth tax act. Finally, this would have actually reduced or eliminated the Great Depression if I had done it while I still had one of the Great Depression spirits.
Nope.
And the Carlists have surrendered.
That's not good.
I mean, it's expected, and probably by this point, they've, they, I don't know, they might have already done their industrial focus. It is going to create a front between, hold on. Oh, forgot to reassign this guy. Sorry, a little my management of my naval task forces I messed up. Would have gotten confusing later. Yeah, the Nationalists now have a border with the Republic, but the Republic seems to be hanging on just fine. In fact, they're about to cut the Spanish Commune in two. So they could win
Yeah.
this one. They could not. The Spanish are probably doing as well as they are because they have volunteers from Italy.
Yeah.
But the Soviets have sent volunteers to the Republic. And the Commune. The Commune is on friendly terms with the British, friendly enough that they've given them docking rights or have docking. Yeah, they have docking rights with the British, so maybe the British will eventually send some Lend-Lease or volunteers. Do not know. Commune's gone as far as appropriate church riches, but they don't have wealth redistribution yet. They might have land redistribution. I don't know if they've done their industrial focus yet. Uh, Land redistribution, nationalize the industry, increase arms production. They can grab all of those during the war. They can add 10 build slots to Spain. Nice. Anyways, regardless of industrial focuses, it's not looking great for the Spanish left, but it's by no means a lost cause at this point. So keep sending rifles if you can.
Yeah.
Every one of those rifles is like saying 2.5 battalions to them because they have the manpower. They just don't have the equipment to arm all their manpower. In fact, the commune has over a 250,000 free manpower at this point, and the republic has like 61,000. So, yep,
Okay.
it's probably going to be a long civil war, and that's probably a good thing because anyways, on pause. They'll have experienced generals. It delays them suffering the recovery from Civil War debuffs, and because they'll have completed more of the focuses they can complete during the war or after, they'll do the focuses to reduce their Civil War debuff, post Civil War debuff quicker, because they'll have fewer other things to do. So, shorter time with
So do you
debuffs.
want me to try to surround the capital now?
You're making the push to actually take the jungle now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should be easy.
yeah. Once you take that jungle, then I would probably maybe both jungles. Then I would prepare to swing west and push through those mountains and try and surround the capital, which is gonna be hard. Mountains are brutal terrain to attack into. I think, yeah, they're even worse than jungles. If you thought it
Yeah,
was hard pushing through those mountains, the jungles try pushing through the mountains. Like Mexico's terrain is rough. There's literally no way you can push through it. You don't have to either cross mountain or jungle somewhere.
I can
So,
fight on two directions at least.
uh, you could. You're talking about attacking the mountains from the west as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you could, but I think all your best divisions are in the east, right?
yeah.
Speaking of best divisions, how you probably have a really
Oh,
experienced junior officer now.
163.
163. I can get him a
Yeah,
little more experience. How much command power do you have?
79.
Yeah, so you can wait a little longer. But yeah, soon you'll have another junior officer to promote. Before he reaches level 2, so that you can potentially shuffle him through the academy spirit later. Maybe this guy will get brilliant strategist. The last one didn't, because you have theater training, right? So
Yeah.
50% chance of getting either brilliant strategist or inflexible strategist. I think that's 50 of both those combined. So I think it's 25% each and 50% nothing. But it could be 50% possibility of getting both and 25% nothing. But I don't think that's how it works. So, or it could be 75 getting one of them, but when it rolls one, it won't roll the other. Who knows? There's like 3 ways I can imagine it working under the hood. I have never tested it to see exactly which. I just know theater training, you get some brilliant strategists, and that's really cool. Uh, it's definitely worth doing sometimes if you're thinking long term, anyhow. The British still haven't gotten rid of their royal family. It doesn't look like.
No?
Well, they get Fate of the Royal Family event, so maybe they can keep
I
them
still
around.
George the Sixth,
Yeah,
popular figurehead,
that makes me think they
plus
probably haven't.
15% stability.
I think they lose that spirit when they take the Fate of the Royal Family focus. So my suspicion is that they haven't gone very far in their focus tree yet.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Definitely could be wrong.
Hmm. I mean, they still have the war to end all wars, so they don't have for the good of the revolution. So, yeah. No, they can't be that. They must not. They probably just have, like, concessions to the trade union. They might not even have that. I don't know.
Hmm. Well, I formed the OSS, so
Because
I'm
they haven't had any civil war over decolonization.
yeah. I mean, they haven't been communists that long, so
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's only been a year.
I don't even think a year. I think it was like what 6 months ago they flipped.
Oh, you're right.
So it's gonna be they got a while to do the decolonization, and that's probably
Yeah.
actually they might be doing decolonization focuses instead of other stuff. Malta's not independent yet, so they haven't gone the Mediterranean path. Middle East. Have they released any of the Middle East? Withdraw from contested. They still have Yemen. That would be the first place they actually withdraw from is Yemen. Nope. So they haven't done any other decolonization focuses either. What? They're probably screwing around with industrial focuses. They might have bypassed towards Dominion independence and be foundations for an Indian state. Nope, they would bypass that. Jeez, I don't know. They must be doing industrial focuses or something silly. Best I can figure. I mean, it's not silly, but they're going to end up with a civil war because they didn't decolonize
Yeah.
quick enough. Oh well.
Who will be the sides?
Probably a Democratic and a communist is my guess.
Uh,
I guess the idea being the communists promised a withdrawal from the colonies and they didn't do it, and that's upset enough people or weaken their claim to keeping their promises enough that.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, Norway is still in a civil war after all this time, and its front lines have barely moved.
Yeah. Never seemed to.
I mean, they're gonna have some pretty darn experienced generals after this, and the Polish Civil War is ongoing. Krakow, Rapa Nui, Aranatio Civil War. That's probably gonna go for ages.
Yeah.
Um, and Mao is still holding out in China. Surprisingly, he's just like, "Come at me, bro."
Yeah. Only lost a couple provinces.
Hmm. And you're running Zifo right now.
Yep.
Yep. And then law and industrial promotion, and oh yeah, I stopped buying licenses from you, right?
Yeah.
How many factories do you have on production right now?
8.
8.
Yep.
I'll license. I don't know. Doesn't really matter what. Guess your mine laying to start. I don't actually have any mine layer designs. If I really want, I could produce it, but I'll license it. Anyways, give you one more. Did that bump it up to 9, or did it just go into consumer goods?
I think into consumer goods.
Of course. Uh, okay, license the other mine layer too. Did you get that?
No, you have to unpause it.
Still nothing.
Nope.
It's probably because the day needs to take over. You know what? Here,
Yeah.
let me just buy tungsten I don't need from you for a day. Now you have at 9.
Yep.
All right. I'll try doing the license again before the day takes over or something.
Oh,
Whoa! How did you,
that's not
you
wasn't
didn't
supposed
leave
to
anyone?
happen.
You didn't leave anyone defending the planes there?
I didn't know I had to do that manually. I thought the guy would do it. Shit.
Uh, well, did you have any divisions that weren't attacking in that?
No, he made them. I just hit the arrow button.
Well, where the
I didn't know I
divisions
had to
go that were
manually
on the
stop them.
plains, did every one of them march out for some
They
reason?
all went into the jungle. Yeah.
All of them. Jeez. Well, whew, you do have he just
He
it's
is leaving. He's leaving. He's marching right back home. Although, is he reinforcing?
they
Shit.
might have someone else marching in. Yeah. I would just planes or
I'll march back.
no, I was gonna
What
say I would
if
have the guys. Should have some guys in the mountains, right?
what mountains?
Northwest of Mexico City.
Yeah,
You could have them attack into those planes, right?
yeah. I only have one guy there.
Only one. I just
Yeah.
how many? What you have some in the jungle, or do you have all 11 divisions in that one jungle?
Oh God, what happened? The front lines are bad now.
Oh yeah, they take a province and suddenly the front lines get really messed up.
Oop, that's not what I meant to do.
Did you just
Oh
get?
God, this is why I don't like making ones.
I can't see. Hold on, let me see the stream. I'm curious what the heck is going on. Yeah, what happened is, I mean, he took a province and that expanded the amount of territory that the guys in the front elsewhere thought they had to cover. So yeah, you probably need to just delete the two red ones because those divisions are nowhere nearby. The two ones that have extended all the way there, and then you can just take the divisions that now don't have a front line and give them fronts elsewhere so they don't go marching or later. You have to remove delete right now. They're uh, I would just yeah. The ones who are you're gonna open a gap in your line if you do that. You see the ones who are on that mountain there. I think you assign them to the front that's south of them instead of the front they're currently standing on. Uh, oh, yeah. See, they're not highlighted, so you need to assign them to the line to the north because you drew the
Yeah,
line.
I see.
Yeah, but you assigned them south. They would have marched south, and there would have been no one defending that mountain. Um, And those you only have one on each, so you really can't attack very easily with those. They're just small, right? Small
Yeah,
boys. I guess if you're not gonna zoom in on their capital for a sec. If you zoom in on, you can see. Yeah, they're marching men in to reinforce that plane. If you highlight,
but then
hover.
he's leaving.
It doesn't matter. They're cycling divisions. Hover the one that's marching in.
Ah,
It'll tell you how long until he arrives.
3 days.
3 days. So, yeah, so there's only a 1 day window where there's no one
I can
defending.
trap him. Attack here.
Uh, what you probably need to do, because it would take, I would have those guys attack the west into the capital. The ones you
All
have,
of them.
no, you got 11 divisions there, I believe. If you draw a box and circle, yeah, so you can
11.
have. You don't need them all to do anything. I would halt whatever they're currently doing. Just H. Hold on, select. I know, and I would have some of them attack west into the capital to hold the guys who are trying to march in there. Um, it is their capital, so I'd probably send uh hold on. And the rest I guess need to move south across the river and then attack the guys in the plains. So I would send
Like that.
no, I would take what I would suggest doing is dividing it up by template, having the three bigger divisions, the third, first, and second.
What do you mean?
Those three. That I was naming the divisions. The third,
Ah,
3A,
right.
1A, and second. The third, first, and
I see.
second division. I would probably remove them from the current front line. You do that with the little minus thing. It's the easiest way. Unassign, and then give them a front line to the south there. Just
Here?
right click there. Or, yeah, just right click, and um, then give it an offensive line, I guess. Yeah, or spearhead actually in there. Yep, and then strategically redeploy them back across the river. Yeah, and
Doesn't that kill their org?
yeah, but look at they're much faster. Jungles really inhibit movement, so
Okay.
if they march the other way, it'll take forever. And then the rest of them, and when they get there, they'll reorg for a little bit, and then they can attack and drive those guys back across the river. And then
And then
the
spearhead these guys?
most of them, I would here you're gonna do something. Yeah, I would do that, but then you don't need all 8 attacking there to hold them. I would take maybe you have all these 2 undefended provinces, especially the mountains. There's no one defending it. If you zoom in, you're zoomed way too far out to see if units are moving. If you zoom in, see if anyone's marching into the mountains there. It doesn't look like it. There's a division marching in the northwest, but no one marching into that undefended mountain. So I would do is take just 2 of those smaller divisions. And yeah, and have them march into the mountain, and have the other 2 go into that jungle. 2 so that if a division does come out of nowhere, they have a reasonable chance of defending. And yeah, and that will take the undefended terrain without having to fight for it. And what is you have? That's 4, 3, 7, 9. So 4 of them are attacking to the capital. Oh, why did you just reassign a bunch of them to attack the capital?
Oh, right. Do I not do it manually?
Uh, hold on. Yeah, so I was gonna say, yeah, they're all marching the capital except the strategic. So I would do is take 4 of them who you're gonna send elsewhere, and have those those 4 um, re- halt the current thing because they're trying to march in the capital. So you can see they don't have the arrows easily.
What?
Like halt because they're current. Oh, I see. Those are the ones that are manually. Then when unassign them from the front line that they're currently on, actually. Um, and the reason for that is you're gonna probably want to just use the arrow to have those 4 attack. Like have the order the attack, but these 4 that are manually marching, they'll just they don't need a battle plan to march into undefended terrain. Or you could take those 4 and so the 39th, 17th, you see the 4 that have the little red exclamation mark. You keep
Yeah.
unselected. Um, what you could do if you, and just in case they show up with a division there and you don't want to is planning while they fight. Actually, though, is give the 2 that are marching the northwest. This is why I would do 2 and 2. So just select just the 2 that are going northwest. Easiest is if you're just going down the list. So just well, okay, those 2 are marching northwest. Give them a front that's stacked with the other one. Or hold on. Oh
Like
wait,
that?
shoot, you don't have to even do that. Actually, assign them to the existing front. I forgot you can draw arrows to different places with different divisions. Uh, just delete that first. So first assign them to that offensive thing as 4, the 2 that are going northwest.
Assign them all here? Or just the 2?
Uh, yeah, we're gonna do this 2 at a time, and you need to have 2 selected, and then draw a spearhead into the mountains to the northwest. In fact,
Ah,
you can have it, uh, and you can Plus now if you hover over it, it'll show the path to make sure they're not trying to attack capital or something. So they'll move there, and if they encounter resistance, they'll you can actually just order the use the attack order. And these 2 same thing. I would assign there a spearhead to the northeast. In fact, I would actually do it not just to the northeast because they can get all the way to those 2 victory points if they're unopposed. Um, so I would actually select them and instead delete that spearhead and draw it up there, because that
Oh,
does
I
weird
don't know what
things.
that.
Yeah, I would just delete
Oh,
that and draw you draw the line where you want them to end up, not where they currently are. That will make them attack into other provinces. You need a spearhead.
ah,
Uh, you're just trying to get there and not attack anyone else who shows up nearby or whatnot. Yeah, and if you release that,
what?
it's trying to go to Monterey. If you edit the path, you should be able to fix that. So the edit and then left click and hold from. I would, yeah, that'll work. I,
Oh,
yeah.
what the heck? Okay.
The way you're gonna have to do this is draw into Reynosa. Actually, I guess in so if you well, I would say you can drag the endpoint into Reynosa and Matamoros both. But
Oh God. What is that? What did I just do? Oh
you're
God.
trying to draw a second spearhead from the end of the first one. I would so hold on. So I would delete. You still want Reynosa and the other thing to be, but hold on. You can draw. So right click and drag to the right from there to Matamoros. Release. Now you're gonna need to edit the path again, but instead, if you click it, right, and then drag it into Matamoros, and then release. Still trying to do it. You can also add a second required province to path. So you select it again, and now edit again, and just left click and hold on the jungle. And now release, and these both should be. Really wants to go there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, this is still the least likely to attack elsewhere. I would still stick with that. Oh, darn.
I'm just messing around with it. Sorry. Oh,
Whatever you
that's not
want
what
to
I
do
meant
that
to
you
do.
think will work. I don't know how to get it to work. It worked fine with attacking to the mountain, and this doesn't seem to be working at all.
Hmm.
You need to actually assign them to that spearhead, but
How's
yeah,
that work?
that'll probably have
Can
them
I
go
do
into
that?
one and then the other.
Oh no.
You
God damn
assigned
it.
everyone to the
Yes,
11.
I did.
What you can do is just assign 4 to the small area to the left, 2 to the upper left.
Oh God, where was I putting them? What
You don't really
this
need
is
to.
on its own?
I
Where
would
did these
just.
come from?
All right, easy way. Select
Oh
the
God.
first sort by template. This will make it easier. So under the 11, sort by template, the little arrows, those are sort buttons. So no, 2 to the right of that. There's left click on the arrow that says sort by template.
Sorry. I see it now.
Yeah. And now just
Oh,
the
okay.
clicking again clears it. So you got those right. So now just select the first 4 on the list, unless you want to get really micro or shift. It doesn't matter. I was gonna say, or the bottom 4. Just assign those to the arrow into the capital. The spearhead, the
Um,
small, like you have to actually click the arrow
right.
itself, not the front line, the arrow. So left
Right.
click there. Then assign the next 2 above to the northwest, and they'll go on that arrow, and then the next 2 on that thing, and they'll go there. And then the 3, assign them to the offensive line to the south, like that. And then you can strategically redeploy them across the river like before.
Okay.
Yeah,
There we
and then
go.
if you tell him to initiate the plan,
Right now?
then yeah, he'll start the attack to the west. He'll start move divisions north, and once the guys who are doing strategic redeploy across the river have arrived and have sufficient organization, you should have them start to attack there as well, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. So, keep this open in the background, unpause it, and we'll see what happens. Yep, so some of them are attacking there. Some of them are moving there, and I don't know if the 4 are moving to the undefended terrain. Maybe, maybe not.
They're working on it.
Cool. Uh, you can unpause it. I paused it, but I just wanted to. It's hard for me to. Oh,
Ah,
17 seconds. So if you, I can't actually see if they're moving there because you're zoomed out. You can either zoom in and you can see the direction they're marching. Oh, they are. Yeah, I was gonna say, or you could actually select the divisions and
I
see.
did.
Oh,
I
yeah,
see the
okay.
arrows.
Yeah, so they're moving. Okay, it starts to change colors. They move. So yeah, and those 3 are probably. Oh, did they launch an attack
Why
the
are they
moment
fighting? Yes. Yeah,
they
he
launched
did.
an attack? A second.
Cancel it.
No, it's green. That means that they're gonna win, even though they have almost no organization.
Okay. All right.
Or what you could do is, oh, one of them already deorged.
Yeah.
Can't halt the attack on those guys and change the way to stop the general from immediately redoing it is to set him to cautious. He's currently unbalanced. Execute
Ah.
plans in a cautious, and then he's less likely to do it, like if it looks dangerous. So now if
Okay.
you unpause it, yeah, now they're waiting to reorganize until it raises the threshold of how much organization they need before they'll attack.
Yeah. They might as well just let him leave anyway.
I mean,
Then they can just march back in.
the problem with just letting him
Oh, there's
leave,
there. Yeah, they defended it. They're winning though.
is that another division is trying to move in, and you can only hold it so long. The one in the capital, but if they attack in, they
Yeah.
start moving in, even though they can't move in until they clear the defenders. And so that way, once the defender is gone, they can move in immediately. You see what I'm saying? They'll have to clear it, but it'll
Yeah.
reduce the time. If you wait for them to leave, there'll be only a day. You start marching in, then the defender arrives before they arrive, and then they'll still have to clear it either way. So
Ah.
you'll retake it quicker this way by attacking and by using the battle plan.
Should I apply pressure with these guys at all?
The other divisions on your front, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. The red front.
I mean, it's not really gonna. If anything, they're more pressured right now because what's happening is his general is looking at the heavily entrenched divisions across the front from him, and he's like, "Nah, I don't want to attack that." And if you attack those entrenchment, and they don't pose much of a serious,
Oh. Okay.
and then it's easier to fend off a potential attack. I mean, sorry, it's harder for
I
them
see.
to potentially counterattack them. It's
Yeah.
easier for them to counterattack because they're not entrenched, and then he's more
That
likely to
makes
pull
sense.
divisions or to concentrate them and actually make a push that's viable somewhere because he'll
Should I
see.
prosecute a clergyman or hire that captain of industry now?
Uh, I can see how much political power you got. How many factors do you have on construction? 9.
9.
Yeah, I would do the captain of industry at this point. The prosecute was partly about getting more political power so that you can do more things like this later.
Okay.
Yeah, you actually have and before you had so few factors in construction that the captain of industry did almost nothing, you know. But now you have
Yeah.
9, which is a respectable number for a small economy. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, now you're just saving political power for war. I mean, you already did war economy. What am I saying?
Oh,
Now you're saving
why
it, I
aren't they
guess,
moving in?
to prosecute the clergy again or to transfer lands to the church to strengthen them later. Uh, huh?
Should I stop? I'm gonna retake this.
If you hover over them, how long till they actually withdrew from that fight, which is unusual. I don't think they won the battle. The enemy actually withdrew, which they can do.
1 day.
1 day, 13 hours. Yeah, I would keep
Yeah.
up the
Yeah.
pressure in the capital until then, because if you stop the attack,
Right. Then
then
they'll reinforce.
they'll keep moving in there, and yeah, just wait till you've taken the plains, and then you can call off the attacks. Oh, and they have tried to stop you in
Okay.
the mountains, so and
Yeah.
they must have strategically redeployed, or maybe they were marching in slow this whole time. So those battles are both defended. So yeah, I would call those attacks off once No, because they'll just reinitiate the attack. I would leave it alone for now, but I would, and that'll just give the enemy a chance to entrench for maybe a few hours to recover. I would just, once you've taken that plains back, then I would call off the attacks and let everyone replan and reorganize. And your front line will get screwed up once you take the province back, so you'll have to redraw the front as
Yeah.
well. So, stuff to fix, and you can actually maybe do that next session because I'm reaching the end of my energy. So
Yeah. I gotta
I
go to bed too.
still haven't gotten the event for the protests descend to violence, even though I cracked down on them aggressively. I wonder if
Yeah.
maybe there's like a chance that it won't cause a civil war sometimes, even though that's a provocation and should lead to it. And
Hmm.
maybe it could be tied to how much my communist support was. Oh, there you go.
Oh, front lines actually look fine. Relatively.
Huh? I'm curious. It didn't screw it up. Yeah, you can order him to stop attacking now. You can just click the arrow again or halt, whatever.
I just hit the. I just
Yeah.
stopped the entire plan.
Yeah, you may still have to actually halt the attacks. I don't know if it automatically cancels them.
I think it does.
I would halt them anyways. They'll stop them an hour earlier. It takes at least an hour to. The reason for that is because I was going to save it at this point. I thought this was a good stopping
Ah,
point.
okay.
Um,
Oh, is now a good time to? Oh, no. Yeah, that railway stuff, right?
yeah,
Oh, I
from
did not build the railway.
probably
I
better
thought
you
I
didn't
set
because
that up.
uh, you won't actually be able to do it right now because they're currently attacking one of the provinces that you need to build a railway and you can't build in a
Ah,
province. But that's not the path you want to do. You should be able to go directly through the plains into the jungle. It follows wherever you start, and that you could do that, but it'll take more industry. I would just draw it. No, from Mexico City, because otherwise that's a longer path for the trains. There we go. Now if you
ah.
left click, it'll add it. Oh, no, well, you can't click on the supply. Just left click on the province there. If you click on the hub, it screws up. There. See, and now it goes through the plains, and then the little narrow that plains barely connects to the jungle. It only is a very narrow. I, you can't do it right now, anyways, because of the
Yeah, the
combat.
fighting.
Yeah, but you could actually put it at the top of the queue, and it just won't assign any factories. You'll see until see they're still
Oh,
on the civilian factory. And the moment the fighting is over, they start building the railway. Because if you hover over the province in the supply map mode there, you can actually see it. It opens the supply map mode whenever you do railway construction, I believe. If you hover over the jungle one with the supply hub,
this?
uh, well, the province itself, not the hub. If you hover over like the jungle terrain, yeah. So you have 3.42 terrain, so 3.42 supply remaining. So you have some. It's not terrible, but once you pull more divisions back across the river later, it will probably go down. That's the thing. You're probably going to want to pull the once you finish that fight. You're probably going to want to pull the smaller divisions. Actually, you could start a march into where the battle is now. There's no reason not to. You probably want to send a couple divisions south to defend the plains, and then you can move the rest of your divisions north to. I would
North
just
where?
say two divisions south, and just leave. Yeah, might be easier if they were the top two, so that they're next to each other on the list. But it's up to you. Um,
Ah,
just that's a thing I personally like to do, so I know which ones the 39th and 17th.
it keeps on.
It's,
Yeah,
yeah, when
I
you
wish
sort by
you could
template,
have
they're
that be permanent,
next to each other though. So I guess however you want to do it. Anyways,
but it unsorts the template.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
you
that
got two,
sucks.
so that will bring in two, and they should probably not even arrive till the fight's already over. Um, if you look at how long it says till they arrive, it's probably like a few days, and the fight will be over by then. But Okie dokie.
Oh, sorry. I got distracted.
Oh no, I was curious. Oh, that's a doctrine notification. I was curious, but if you hover over the ones who are marching south right now, like the actual two divisions, you can see them. They're separated from the other stack. 4 days, 7 hours. So yeah, by the time they arrive, that fight will be over for sure. But you get them started now, and then once they arrive, you can pull the three divisions north, or once the fight's over, actually, you could probably start a marching.
Yeah.
But you probably want to strategically deploy so you don't suffer attrition from the jungle. So maybe you wait till the other guys arrive. Otherwise, they'll just get attacked before they even arrive there.
I have breakthrough progress when I don't have any projects.
Yeah, when you do, when certain most texts give a little bit of breakthrough progress. If you hover over the ones that
Hmm.
are, you see, the ones that have the physics is right now the one you're getting progress on. You'll see, for instance, you're getting progress from computing research.
Hmm.
So whenever you're doing certain texts, you gain 0.112, 0.12 a day breakthrough progress on certain texts. It'll tell you if you actually go to the text screen. Like if you go open up the research slots and open up your tech tree, it was actually on a separate tab there. So you
Jeez.
knew,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you hover over, say, that line gives, if you hover over the next one, the line, you'll see it as well. Those give nuclear research. If you hover over the left line, 1938 radio, you see
Hmm.
it says, no, I'm saying in the
None of
electronics.
these.
If you hover the radio tech there, the headphone, that's like a ham radio. If you hover over the ham radio, I'm trying to get you to show the tooltip to yourself. You keep looking at other stuff.
Where?
The radio,
Radio.
the headset. If you hover over the one below it, the improved radio, 1938 radio.
Radio.
If you hover that, see how it says 0.112 daily breakthrough aerodynamics and avionics. That means when you tech
Oh,
that, you gain progress on aerospace research. That's
yeah.
meant to be used for radar, basically.
I I hovered over it. I think
Yeah,
it's there's a delay and sometimes it doesn't
yeah,
always show everything.
yeah.
I was confused.
Computing research helps with
But yeah.
physics. Uh, Radio research helps with aerodynamics. If you look at the right, the experimental rockets help with aerodynamics as
Aerodynamics.
well. Nuclear physics in the upper left, 1940 thing helps with helps with physics, obviously, atomic research. Um,
Yeah.
if you go over to artillery tab and hover over, say, improved artillery, or any of the artillery for that matter, it gives
Yeah,
land
land
warfare.
warfare.
Yeah, so different text, ones that have that little thing in the bottom right, that indicates that they get breakthrough progress for something.
Oh, I see.
Green is land warfare, I think. Yellow is, I don't remember what yellow is. I think yellow is, blue is Navy, green
Naval
is Army.
engineering.
I
Hmm.
think
I
yellow
never
is
noticed that.
air, and physics is, no, red is air, and yellow is physics.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a little color coding thing. Just like some of the things have little beakers in the bottom left. Like if you go over to infantry equipment, you should see that with some of those, like on
Yeah, that's
trucks.
MIOs.
Yes. So bottom right is a color coding for breakthroughs. Bottom left is for MIOs. And sometimes you'll see in the upper right a little thing, or above, sorry, that says like 100% with a star, and that indicates you can spend experience to speed that research up.
Yep.
Like on depth charges,
Okay.
you can spend 50 Navy XP to do it at twice the speed. So,
All right.
yeah, something for everyone. Um, have you ever
All
played
right.
the
Uh,
g- game?
Sorry.
Oh, have you ever played the game Command and Conquer,
No.
or any of the series? I should say. You never
No.
played any of the Command and Conquer games? Um,
I've heard of them.
okay, then you won't get the joke, but maybe some of the audience will. Or the reference. I was thinking when I eventually, when I was planning on this isn't going to happen, so I might as well just say it. I was thinking if Austria comes under attack from Germany and I can form a faction with them, because I think when in a war that's not civil war, I'm pretty sure your requirements to form a faction, the world tension requirement gets dropped, like it goes lower. So instead of being 80% for democracy, I think it goes down to like 20% world tension or something. But
Yeah.
I was thinking if I formed a faction with Austria, and at some point I'll form a faction anyways, and you can name your faction. I was thinking I would call my faction the Global Defense Initiative.
Yeah.
GDI from Command and Conquer. It's one of the two factions in the game.
Mm.
And they're like initially you're presented, you're almost supposed to think like they're the good guys and they're protecting the world against the evil brotherhood and Nod. But as the game goes on, it becomes more and more obvious that they're incredibly corrupt and promote like a very unequal distribution of wealth between like the a few enclaves of rich people and the rest of the world. To be fair, the series, the tone of the GDI and how it's presented changes as the games go on because the real world changed. The first game was released in the 90s, so it was like rah rah America and the GDI are like the good guys. And then the Tiberian Sun series comes along and they become more and more evil as people become more and more cynical about the American Empire. So by like the in the Tiberian Sun series that was produced in the 2000s, and there's before a lot of the battles there'd be like these cut scenes, and a lot of them are presented as news flashes, and there'd be news flashes about like the green zones and the red zones, and like not coincidentally the areas are neglected and that Tiberium is allowed to like completely destroy the planet in are areas that were inhabited by a lot of poor people usually, and
Yeah.
they come to be inhabited by poor people if they weren't originally. Like some areas that are fairly developed now become red zones because the rich people all move to the green zones and leave the poorest people to have to live in the red zones. Like there's
Mm.
capital flight and the richest people leave, and um, so they live cushy, protected lives. While Tiberium, which is kind of an analogy for oil, in fact, it's very directly in the game for I think a couple cutscenes even says that it's kind of replaced oil as an energy source uh, through like a weird atomic fission or fusion process.
Yeah.
But it's this alien substance that's destroying the planet. It's revealed so that the green zones they benefit from all the technology and energy that's derived from Tiberium, but the substance is cleansed from those lands so they don't deal with the horrible health effects of it. Whereas like the red zones, it's allowed, and yellow zones, it's allowed to run pretty rampant, and those become energy sources, and there's like resource exploitation. So it's very direct analogy for resource exploitation and labor exploitation from the third world to the first world in our own reality. It doesn't even try and hide it. It's pretty. I mean, I'm sure some people didn't realize the analogy even then because some people are so blinded to the realities of our world that even in a game that's about it, they just don't see it. But it was very it's a very obvious comparison, you know. And there were like three Tiberian Sun games, one, two, and three. And even though the third one was terrible, from what I hear, and two wasn't nearly as good as one, um, the storyline does really progress in a way that's interesting. Um, I've even gone so far as to watch some of the cutscenes for the later games and I not play them on YouTube just to see like how the story progressed, which is how I know some of this, and also reading the wiki. I was also toying with the idea of buying the games and didn't because they got tanked in reviews and such. But yeah, it's an interesting storyline.
Yeah.
If you ever get the chance to go play the Tiberian Sun games, um, and there's some definite metaphors for our world, which I think you'll pick up on if you're looking for them. It's it's not hidden, is what I'll say.
Yeah. I'll
So
have to look them up.
yeah, right, and
Have you
save this.
got everything saved?
Yep, I'm saving one more time. Both of them.
All right. Cool.
Making 2 copies of save, and we are good. Folks on
Sweet.
YouTube, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of each other, be kind to yourselves, and may it was fun getting started with you home. And Joe, it was fun. Kind of
Yeah.
video
Thanks.